18 of our 30 days of stories, connections, and conversation as it leads into our June 27th event, The Rhythm of Our Hearts. Hi, I'm Darcy Kessner Hawkins, and I am your host of this series. And today we're talking about the power of being seen. So, stories matter in so many different ways. And when we share our stories from our heart in a non-judgmental setting, we get to process some feelings, we get to share what's on our heart and on our mind, and we get to step into love. And that is so important. So, have you ever had someone tell a story and thought, I thought I was the only one? I'm going to tag some people, see if we can get some folks in here. Only if my phone is working. So again, have you ever had someone tell you a story and thought, I was the only one? Interestingly, when I wrote my book about what I experienced as a child and a young woman, I shared the book with one of my sisters. And those were her exact words. I thought I was the only one. We had similar trauma experiences with our step-grandfather, and we had never spoken about it to each other in over 50 years, 50, half a century. And the magnitude of that floored me. And so as we stay silent, a lot of that festers, and the possibility of helping someone with our stories disappears, actually. So when we have stories, they help us feel less alone, obviously, because we carry experiences and challenges and questions silently in our heart space. I see I have someone here. There's a one at the eye, which could either be on, I'm looking at my phone, at the live on Facebook. It could either be on YouTube or here on Facebook, but I'm not sure who it is. And then someone tells their story and suddenly we recognize ourselves. Could we possibly feel understood? But definitely we realize that we're not alone. And sometimes healing begins with me too. So again, if you're here, please do #live and say hello. I would really appreciate it. And if you catch this on the replay, #replay. So Me Too was a movement in 2017. And I couldn't say Me Too at that point. I literally could not form the words. They would not come out of my mouth. I could say and offer love and hope to people who were saying Me Too, but I personally couldn't say it. It was hey, Aura, welcome. It was several years later that I could say, I choose me. And I've got rolling spirit bumps with that. Hey, Ross, welcome. So when I said, I choose me, it was my way of saying, I experienced it. I experienced sexual assault. And now I'm in the process of choosing me. And as I grow and I heal with this, and share my stories of what I can share, because sometimes the words literally will not come out of our mouths. And that's okay, because healing happens on your own time. You're welcome, Ross. Ross shares, was, still is. Sadly, I can. It took years. It's taken years for me. I was silent for half a century. That's a lot of habit ingrained into one body. And that's the miracle of sharing story now, being a storyteller, is that we can help break the cycle for those who are younger than us, our young wise ones. We can help them learn how to speak and heal in real time versus carrying something for 50 years and chipping away at it. And when you look down, you don't have a chisel, you have a piece of pasta. It's going to break. And there's a difference with being seen and starting the process of healing. The difference between being seen and fixed. Most people don't need someone to solve their lives. They need to be heard. They need to be witnessed. They need to know that their experience matters. Hell, they need to know that they matter. Every single one of us matters. And we're all imperfect. There's not a single perfect person out there. And so if you're waiting to share your story, if you don't know how, this is a perfect experience with the rhythm of our hearts to listen to the stories that are going to come through this experience. Because there is a tremendous healing, and be able to tell the truth, sit in someone else's truth about where we are without fear of judgment, because it is a judgment-free zone. Everything the Holistic Healing Alliance is a judgment-free zone. Hey, Rachel, welcome. Rachel was trying to get on with me and her phone was not cooperating. Sometimes technology just does that. We want to witness you. We want to see you. Only if you're ready to have that experience. And if you have not even thought about this before, you may want to step your toe into this, or possibly step your toe into another experience that the Holistic Healing Alliance is offering. Reach out, ask questions. It will always be a no to your question if you don't ask it. Storytelling is so impactful. Rachel says technology. I think there was a note of disgust in her typing, technology. Stories create connection. Then stories build bridges. They help us move beyond labels. Because I can walk around and say I was sexually assaulted as a child. That is not a trigger, which is important as well, but it doesn't tell the story. And I have many, many stories. I am a library of stories. So at our experience, our immersive, the rhythm of our hearts, you're not going to be talked at. you're not going to be in a classroom setting. You're going to be in an experience. Our facilitators, Rachel is one of them, our facilitators are going to walk you through their important experiences and how they are connecting with the topics and how it's so near and dear to their hearts. Being in the energy of receiving is enough. Or however you wish to experience it, because it's not for us to say what is right for you. We just want to open up possibilities. Ross shares for, quote, you, it might be for a person hearing it and not ready to address it. 100%. I think we're like mind melding here, Ross. Rachel, what inspired you to start this journey of healing and grow this platform? Rachel, you're going to make me cry. Woman. And I was having this, whoa, I don't even know where this came from. I was talking with a dear friend earlier this week about my why. Why am I here on this planet? And that is to be able to live in safety with the people who populate our lives, right? You're supposed to be able to trust. Okay, Rachel, I have to get a tissue. You're supposed to be able to trust the adults in your lives to take care of you. You're not supposed to, as a child, go down a list and feel to see, are you a trustworthy person? Can I be safe with you? It should be an automatic yes. So that as a young child, with your innocence, you can explore the world and be anything that you want to be because you have no tethers. That was taken away from me. And for, I would say, almost 50 years, I was in hiding, playing a role. I was really good at my role. No one ever knew, even my ex-husband. And we were married for over 30 years. So this is why I'm on the journey, why I was inspired to start the journey. Well, I didn't realize it, but the universe, Gus, God, universe, source, was giving me spiritual 2x4s. Was giving me spiritual 2x4s. And I started with shamanism and started learning different ways to help myself heal. And the platform came as a natural byproduct of, well, the universe saying, okay, you have all these things. You are skilled at sharing them and holding space for people and to be the catalyst for transformation in their lives. So go out and do it. And I thought it meant to become a massage therapist. And it was. And being just a massage, no, there's no just a massage therapist. Being a massage therapist and helping people through physical medicine to reach into their own medicine is so powerful, right? Then COVID happened and I lost myself. If I can't touch people because of COVID, and I sure as hell am not going to cause the death of someone, and I had elderly clients, patients. It's like, I'm not touching them. I'm not breathing on them. I'm not that essential of a worker that I need to be there. And there was a little bit of a tussle between me and chiropractors. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Welcome for being here. Christina is my daughter-in-law and a wonderful supporter. So COVID knocked me on my ass and I was telling myself, who am I if I can't touch people and help them heal on their journey? And over time, it came to me as a download, is like, use your voice. It's like, should have had a V8. Use your voice. Use your compassion. There are more things to you than just your hands. And then I realized that there are so many other holistic practitioners, wellness practitioners out there that don't have support in sharing their genius. So how can I help them spread this around? And it's important for the planet. It's important for the tapestry of life. And so the Holistic Healing Alliance was formed almost 2 years ago. We're coming up on our 2-year birthday anniversary. I don't know what it's going to be. Right? So we come together as wellness practitioners so that you have support to share what you do, because what you do is so important. And then we're going to share it with the communities so the communities can remember that they are their own personal healer 24/7, and the Holistic Healing Alliance in their events shares tips that you can do that are simple, that are quick, and we will give you supporting documentation. You get a resource binder with this event. You can have access to our website. You have access to all the facilitators, the practitioners who choose to be registered within the wellness directory by joining the Holistic Healing Alliance partnership. We're a partnership. So Ross shares, so many of us were required by circumstances to become that adult for ourselves and guard and guide our others. Yes. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the comments. And Ross says, well meant. And he shares voice, Reiki, energetic broadcast on multiple frequencies. These are the gifts, the genius, the talents, the skills that Ross brings. He is in a place where he can quantify and share what he does from an analytical point of view. Not all of us can do that. That's part of the journey. I just know I can help people. I used to say, just come to me and I will help you. Just trust me. just trust me. But people, and rightly so, don't trust, and you shouldn't. And just because an authority figure tells you something, if it doesn't resonate as true, then investigate. Why? And if they get offended, it's time to walk away. Life is short. And you get to choose how you believe, how you behave, and how you are present within your life. Rachel shares, finding your voice can be a challenge, or even knowing as an adult you're allowed to have a voice. Absolutely. And as we find our voice, and we may not be that much farther along than our fellow person, if we can share our story, if we're comfortable with it, there's no requirement to do so. If it doesn't resonate, say no. As you gain your voice, you can share it in everyday life by living your authenticity. And I know that sounds so freaking cliche, but being your bold badass. You get to do it. And anybody who has a need to judge you, there's an issue with that person. Not you. Not you. That doesn't say that we're perfect, because we always have something to work on. Ross shares a nice little quote, safe to be the star that you are. Yes. Don't let anyone dim your shine, dim your light. The stories that are going to be shared in this experience is to support. It's practice on the facilitator's part as well in speaking their stories, possibly in a new way. There are some who have never facilitated before, so all of it is new to them. But that's not to say their story is more important than yours. It's to open the conversation for you to explore your own story in a full day experience. Because sharing of stories opens the space in community. When you're sharing story in community, it opens the space for community support, for aha moments, for insight. And it's kept in a confidential, safe space. And one of the most powerful things happen in community. You realize you are not alone. The creation of the rhythm of our hearts was created to bring people in community. However we can. In person is powerful. Virtual is the next best thing. One-to-one, one-to-group, one-to-many, as long as that message and that energy is going forth. And you're part of that energy. You get to amplify it. You get to support it. You can say, I don't want to do this, and unplug yourself from it. On a physical level, you can, absolutely. So, Ren shares oneness, absolutely. The spiritual law of oneness. We are all but a frequency, vibration, and we can vibrate in love and gratitude and be at that higher vibration, or we can dip down and vibrate in misery, in helplessness. And it's like a roller coaster sometimes. We go up and down with this experience, the experience of healing. But when we know we're in a community of people who are like-minded, who are non-judgmental, the dips are not as deep, because you have someone holding out their hands to help support you if you need it. And we're all recovering people pleasers. And so we tend to, I don't know what the word is, overhelp. It's just, as you are healing, retain your sovereignty and say no thank you if it is too much, because you get to do this. This is your journey. We absolutely want to help and hold space, absolutely, right? But it's your journey, and we would be honored to walk alongside you. So for a closing reflection, what story from your life has taught you something important? Or when was the last time someone's story helped you feel seen? And you can drop it into the chat. And give a little bit of a pause and sit in silence. Rachel shares, recovering people pleasers. I love that. We are recovering people pleasers. There was a time as I was raising my children and two of my grandchildren where I wanted to, and most parents are like this, we want to safeguard our kids from the experiences that we had because some of them were so detrimental, were so awful, right? Well, abuse, absolutely. That's a no-brainer. We absolutely will say keep them safe from that. But it's like, okay, what happens when you're riding your bike and you don't have knee pads on, right? Eventually, you have to stop reminding them to put on their knee pads and so forth, so they can experience the fall, because that's going to last longer with them than you reminding them and being the nag. Ren shares, I have had many times where I shared my story and it allowed others to speak on their story for the very first time. It's so profound. And you are a wonderful storyteller, Ren, and empowered to do that. And that is so amazing. And the ripple of you sharing continues to ripple out in what I call concentric circles. You're at the center of that vortex. And that is so powerful. And thank you for doing that. Ross shares, what's worse than being a people pleaser? Trying to be and failing. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a word for that. So I put this out. If you've ever felt alone in something that you've been carrying, join us. Join us for the event. Just reach out and say something. Go to the holistichealingalliance.com, send a message, and we will reach out and support you. Take a look at all the wellness practitioners, wellness practitioners that are on our directory to see if one of their activities intrigues you and find out what they do more. Get on a free call with them to see what they do. We have a wide variety of practitioners and we're only going to grow. Rachel shares, a friend of mine talked about her abuse with such ease. Her dad repeatedly and abused her and talked about it easily, and to quit protecting the abuser and open me up to talk of my own abuse freely. I'm not alone. No, you're not. To have that and to be able to step into that healing, step into the ability to share your own story, and know that while the experience was not the same, it's similar enough to not feel reluctant to share. And this is proof that one story, one conversation, or one moment of connection can remind us that we're worthy and that we get to speak our truth without being cut off, without being put into a container. You get to own your experience and not have it qualified or shaped to fit someone else's narrative. So again, I invite you to attend. I also invite you to reflect on who you're connected with right now and see if they could benefit from being in our energy, the Holistic Healing Alliance. The opportunity to step in and experience at whatever level that you can. And if it doesn't resonate, step back out. We're not saying that we are the be all and all, but we are a starting point and we have connections. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow. I can't tell you what time. I don't know if it's in the morning or the afternoon. Apologies for not being here last night. Life happens, but thank you. And we're counting down the days, only 17 more days. I've got rolling spirit bumps. Hope to see you all there. Blessings and take care.